you are in school or you're learning programming, I think this is a huge benefit of doing hobby programming because you need to showcase something that you can build all your own, like something like this example here. If you're looking for a job, being able to show what you've built in your hobby off time when you're not doing schoolwork or whatever, I think that super important for, getting jobs and whatnot. But I
I
don't
will
know
tell
for
you, it's nowadays that having been in the position of hiring devs, I'd be more interested in seeing that than in seeing that you graduated with straight A's from this university, right? I want to see what you did, not what you read.
Yeah, I've not hired anyone, but I could see like it's just like what are they making? Can we interact? Like how are they? Obviously personality, but like it also shows that there's an interest in like, hey, I
Yeah.
want to make things. Not just I don't want to program. That's a side effect. I want to make something. Like
Right.
you're reminding me of all these things I forgot. There was in my old university, there was a static HTML page which would list how many seats were open in each computer lab in the whole campus, like a 33,000 student uni. So there's like maybe a dozen places where there's computer labs of varying sizes. So again, I scraped it and created a heat map so you could guess on what day of the week and what hour of the day and what room would you actually have a good chance of getting a computer, and it just auto updated all the time. But like if I saw that from someone now, even if it was like however is format, I'm like, they are like trying to solve a problem. They are
Yep.
creative. They're enjoying it, as opposed to I don't know what else you'd see, but it's I see this in others, like talking to you all. Like unfortunately, not everyone's the same with like there's the dark side of tech, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, as Sudo said, he was a hobby programmer, no certs, no degree, and now employed. Yeah. And I think that's very indicative of the way like companies are trying to hire programmers now, at least in my experience, especially with small business. I mean, I work in a very large company now, Shift 4, but most of my career is small business. You have to be very careful about who you hire because you have to fail fast with them, because hiring a developer is a significant portion of the budget. And so you want to be able to see that, yes, this person is a problem solver. They like doing this. They stick with it. They bulldog a problem and figure out how to get it done, and they're able to produce something. So I think hobby programming is important for, like you say, job looking. It's a big deal.
And if you're at a big organization, again, I don't know because I've never worked. Well, I've worked at big organizations, but not as a software developer. How easy is it to hide, or how easy is it to, hey, just go to the cubicle next door to get assistance? Whereas if you're on your own, when you demonstrated that you've built something on your own, I think there's significant weight to that. Again, particularly if you're small business hiring, because you need to know that that person you bring in is going to either knows how to do it or figures out how to do it.
Company I work for hires because of personality, not as much for skills. Obviously, if it's senior, then it matters. They say you can teach someone to code. You can, but you can't. Yeah, I'm not looking for the code or the syntax. What I'm looking for is the desire to solve problems.
Yeah, I think and I'm very interested in I'm a second career engineer. I think that's an interesting. I'm just wrapping up the book Range. I don't know if you've heard of it, by something Epstein. But it talks about a lot of the science behind what we believe about learning and domain, like sharing knowledge across domains in our own applied use, and like a lot of myths around specialization. So like, there are things that really benefit. Chess is very good at the patterns are the same. And golf, similarly, even though it's a lot more variables, the ball is the ball, the club's the club, but there's a wicked world with certain like creative aspects where can you be thrown in something that's vastly different than anything you've seen before or ever encountered and handle it. And there's certain things that lend to that. So having a diversity of experience. So for example, like in the scientific community, you know, if you look at the ones who are actually the top 1% as far as like getting the awards and, you know, laureates and things like that, they generally tend to have an interestingly spotty background. Like
Yeah.
maybe, oh yeah, I'm also in an orchestra, not like a polymath, just like, oh, I worked at a pizza factory, I worked at a sawmill, I worked at a cash register, you know, I lived in very different places. And my wife's actually just got hired on to become a second career coder. She spent 10 years in the NHS. She's a manager, speech and language therapist for children. And I just like, you are going to do great, because she's doing a master's conversion course. So I'm like, the code is there, but the human, somebody, you know, I probably can't say age, but in their 30s who's had a successful career, but like knows how to deal with other humans, all that stuff is like tidied up and can show through this like hard year that they have what it takes. And then if you can onboard graduates in your organization, these you if you start at like 32 coding, you're not going to be like 17 years behind the 15-year-old when you're 40. You're the person who started when they're 15.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting space.
If you like this clip and want to watch another one, you can click right here. Or if you want to watch the full video, you can click here.